chalking friends. Welcome to Tuesday Night Chalking. It's Making Maria. I'm your Chalk Couture independent designer. Hello everybody. We are making a porch leaner sign tonight, a big one. It's going to be kind of challenging to make, but we are using this very cool transfer that says bless our home with a super cool wreath on it. We're actually going to make this particular transfer in 2 different projects. We're only going to make one of the projects tonight though. It's one of those that it's been on my list to make, but I just haven't had an opportunity yet to make it. So we're going to make it in 2 phases. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. First tonight we're going to make the porch leaner sign. And I'm not going to, well, I don't know, I might put it on my porch, but I have a 4-foot long, sorry, I'm trying to get it out of the package. I have a 4-foot long pine board that is, I'd say it's 9 inches wide. So it must be a 1 by 10 would be my guess. We routered it. I stained it gray, a very pretty gray color. I'm going to show it here to you in a second. Let me get the transfer out of the way. So I have this big, huge gray porch leaner. And we're going to do something a little bit different with the transfer. So it's meant to say, bless our home. And then it has this beautiful wreath, which is a really nice size wreath, and I really love the wreath. So we're going to make something completely separate with the wreath on a different day, just not today. Today we're going to make the leaning, that thing. We're going to make the leaning board today. So give me one quick second here, and I'm going to get this out into the Making Maria Crafty community. If you are new to our Chalking Little Party, say hi. Tell me where you're from. Hey, Melissa from Canada. Welcome. We're making a super cool sign tonight, Melissa. It's been on my list to make. I just haven't had time to make it, and I really love this transfer. And I'm going to talk to you a couple different, I can't get it to share. I don't know what I do wrong, that sometimes I can get it to share in my group, and sometimes I can't. But I'm definitely doing something wrong. Sometimes it just pops up like, do you want to share this in your group? But it's not going to do that for me tonight. But oh well. All right, I'll share it later. So, or Melissa, if you don't mind, you did it for me last time. If you want to share this into the crafty community, that would be really helpful. So thank you, Melissa. Okay, so it has a super cool wreath. We're going to make the wreath. Actually, we're going to make the wreath on a canvas and frame it. Hey, Carol. But because look at the detail in this wreath. Look at those pretty flowers, and then we've got the greenery. So we're going to actually create that on a square canvas and frame it. The bless our home we're going to make on the 4-foot long board, but instead of the O, we are going to put some flowers so that I can change the flowers seasonally. Instead of having to change the board seasonally, I can just change the flowers seasonally. Hey, Kathy K. Kathy K has wood boards. Well, here you go, Kathy. This is a beautiful transfer. Hello, Carol. Hello, Melissa. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so that's what we're going to use for the O. I'm going to show you how we're going to put it on the board because there's really more than one way to do it, right? If you had a smaller board, thanks, Melissa. I love it horizontally. I have to think about which one's horizontal and which one's vertically. I know you're all shocked by that, right? I like it horizontally. I love this font. I think it's just super cool. But on a porch, well, my porch leaner is 4. If my board was smaller, we would do it on a smaller board. But instead of the O, we're going to put, so you can kind of get a visual, we're going to put the flowers instead of an O. Now, everybody's going to ask me, where did I get this, right? Because I can read your minds. I got this at Hobby Lobby, and they're on sale right now. And it was $7.99, and I think it was 40 or 50% off. You did it right last time, Melissa, so I'm sure you did it right this time. So that's where the super cute little galvanized, it's got a little hangy thing on it. I was actually going to cut this off and just put 2 little nails in my board and then clip it onto the nails. But the flowers hide it anyway, so I think I'm gonna leave it. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna cut apart our letters and we're gonna put home this way and bless our home at the top. And I realize you cannot see all this. So I'm gonna pull my board down. Hopefully I can get it far enough without knocking everything over in my craft room. When you have a 4-foot board on your table, it's long. So we're gonna do bless our, and then the letters down it with the flowers. That's our plan. But the first thing I need to do is I need to cut apart our transfer. And I'm gonna cheat. I guess it's not really cheating. I'm not going to cut the letters apart. And I'm going to do that on purpose because if I ever want to make the transfer horizontally, they're already spaced properly. So I don't want to cut them apart because then I have to try to place them, and y'all know how I feel about measuring. So I'm not going to cut the letters. I'm not going to cut them this way because it's already spaced out perfectly. So I'm just literally going to pick the transfer up and go down the board. I am, however, going to obviously cut out the bless our. But this wreath, if you guys are looking for a cute wreath, this wreath is gorgeous. And those little welcomes will fit in here. All the three, I call them the three, something that is probably not correct. I call them, the trio transfers are their proper term. There's a lot of trio transfers, and all those trio words will fit inside this wreath. So I think you could make an absolutely stunningly gorgeous welcome sign with this wreath. So I love this transfer. This is an E-size transfer, so it is big. So we're gonna put bless our, and then we're gonna start over here a little more. We're gonna start with our H. I just want to kind of, and then we're gonna do our, I just want to make sure it's all gonna fit. So we got our H. I probably want to pull it down a little bit. Okay, and then M and E. Perfect. We're gonna fit. I might bring this down a little bit. I'm probably going to, after I get the bless our, I might start backwards and go up and kind of space it in between. Sometimes that's one of my tricks when I don't want to measure, is go from the opposite direction that you would think you would normally go from. I tried to find one of these that was solid and didn't have ridges, that was long enough. I could have put the O. I don't think it's going to fit on here. No, it won't fit on here. But if you had the right, and they had this in other sizes, I just didn't go back because, of course, I didn't take the transfer with me or measure because that would have made sense. But I think you could easily find something that would hold flowers as well that you could also chalk the O on. I think that would be cute too. You could even create, if you're handy with some wood, you could create a box, put the O on the box, and then put the flowers in the box as well. So I think there's a lot of options and choices as to how you could create this transfer and make it look unique and beautiful, and it would make an amazing springtime gift. So I'm gonna move my flowers. We're gonna start with bless our, I'm basic white. That's all I'm doing. I'm doing white chalk paste. I'm using the big boy 4-inch handled squeegee. I'm gonna try to make it so you guys can see everything that I'm doing without challenging us all too much. I'm gonna open up my creamy, dreamy white chalk paste. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of measuring. I'm not gonna do much measuring, but I'm gonna do a little bit. So my letters, we're gonna go 8 inches, right? Just to give some space. So 3 times 8 is 24, plus, we're gonna go with 11. That gives me 35. I'm trying to figure out how much, oops, and now I'm throwing stuff on the floor. All right, so I pretty much have this much room to play with, so I can bring this down a little bit, but not too much. All right, if you're gonna have extra space, have the extra space at the bottom. I found that to be my trick Because you know, when you put something on a porch, or you put something, maybe you lean it on a fireplace if you don't want to put it outside, typically you put things in front of it, right? So if you have extra space, have it at the bottom, not at the top, if that makes sense. I'm going to flip my transfer over. I'm going to write the name of the transfer on the back. Bless our. Okay, so I'm going to take my transfer. I'm going to remove it from its backer sheet. Once I get going here, this is going to go super fast. I'm going to carefully remove this from my backer sheet. I'm going to set my backer sheet aside because it's an important piece, right? And of course, I went up too high. Now you can't see what I'm doing. Start that over here for a second. I should fuzz my transfer, which I will do when I do the letters because this is super sticky. Again, I want to leave enough space at, enough space at the top. Seal my transfer down. I'm going to grab a stir stick here. I'm going to blob on some chalk paste. And I'm just going to go like so. Careful not to get my chalk paste off of the transfer because this is an unsealed wood board. So it's harder to get the chalk off because there's nothing protecting the chalk from seeping into the wood. When I am all done, take all this excess, put it back in my container. When I'm all done, I can seal the board so it can go outside and get wet. I don't typically seal my outside boards just because my porch is covered, and rarely do my things get wet. And if they do get wet, as long as I don't touch them, it's okay. All right, so that's our Bless Our, and I am going to dry it because I don't want to smear it as I'm going. Because inevitably I will smear it. So how's everybody doing tonight? We have a couple fun things coming up this week. We're playing March Madness. I hope you're all playing along. It's fun to see which ones you guys vote for. So if you're seeing those posts, you want to play March Madness, just pick, it's just fun, you know. It's just kind of a fancier way of this or that. I'm really only concentrating on the hour part because that's what's going to get touched by the rest of my transfer. Tomorrow is the girls' virtual night in. If you're local to me, I can still drop off. I only have 3 left. I might only have 2 left. So if you want to participate, it's going to be super fun tomorrow night. I can't wait. It's just a bunch of us girls laughing and giggling and having a good time. We're going to play with nails and lip gloss and create the bundle comes with 2 projects, but you all know this well, right? I've been talking about it forever, so you all know what I'm talking about. But that is tomorrow night. So I won't be live in this group because I'm going to be live there. Well, really here, but there, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I'm going to start with my H, and I'm going to do my O, my M, and my E. I'm going to touch a little bit. All right, so this is going to get tricky because my transfer is super sticky, right? And it's bigger than my board. So we're going to see how well this goes without Maria getting it everywhere, right? I may put it back on the backer sheet just to make my life a little bit easier. In fact, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a smaller, the Bless Our backer sheet so that I can manipulate this without getting it. So I do want to check my center point. I'm going to make sure that I'm centered. I'm close. This is what I don't want to do. Okay, don't do that. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm centering the center of my H. I'm going to get another backer sheet. I have smaller backer sheets because I don't want to put the big one on top of it so that I can continue to use this. So I'm just going to, make sure you put it on the right side. All right, there we go. All right, so It is pretty darn close. All right. Am I straight? I look pretty straight. Don't you think I look pretty straight? We're as straight as Maria's going to worry about getting. I actually think I'm going to switch from the big boy squeegee to a small squeegee just because there is the seam and I don't want to chalk that seam. So I do want to be conscious of that. Your cut lines are silk screens, so you don't want to just whoosh right over them, right? Because then you will end up with lines that you don't want. Okay, so I am just filling in my silk screen. Squeegeeing off all my excess and putting it right back in my container. Ah! Don't do that. So I did get chalk where I didn't want it, not to mention the fact I got it all over my fingers. So we're gonna see how easy it's gonna be to get off of here. But first I'm gonna get it off of my fingers. So I flipped my stir stick onto the board. Okay. And I have chalk everywhere now. So be careful, is the moral to the story. Be more careful than I am. Let's pull our H off and see how bad that line looks. Oh, it came off. Whew. Right? All right, so now we have our H. And I am going to, again, dry it. Oop, wrong side. And again, I'm going to concentrate on the bottom of the letter just because that's where, you know, if I smear it, that's where I'm going to smear. The new chalk paste does take a little bit longer to dry. Not a lot longer because it doesn't take long for chalk to dry, but it does take a little bit longer than you're used to. You know, you're used to, oh my gosh, I gotta hurry up, bro. You still have to hurry up, but not half as much as you used to. So I'm just drying it. Okay. So next comes our flowers. So I have a thing for tulips. Absolutely positively love tulips. I always have. I really have chalk paste everywhere. So in the springtime, you'll see most of the things that I create with. Oh, do you know how it's going to be one of those nights? Okay, so now we're going to have our H-O, which is really flowers. This is going to be super cute. Okay, and then we need our M and our E. I'm just gonna cut them apart. I'm gonna give up on my trying to, you know, not have to be. I'm gonna give up on my laziness, and I am gonna cut them apart. At least these two. We'll try using two instead of maneuvering all of them. All right. Hopefully my life will get a little easier there. So, of course it's had chalk paste on it. And I don't want to get that chalk paste on things, so I do need to make sure I get that gone. Okay, so now we have our M. And then we have room for our E. I need to take this off because it's too much. And I've got air. So you have to get rid of your air bubbles. Everything is sticking to itself. This is what happens when I try to use big surfaces in my little camera space. You want to make sure that you have all your air bubbles out and that you're smooth. Because if you don't, your chalk won't have that smooth, even texture that you're looking for. And you can tell, because I don't know if you can see that right here, but my screen moves when I rub my finger across it. You don't want your screen to move, because if it moves when you rub your finger across it, it's going to move when you squeegee. Now I hope to God it's straight, right? And move my flowers here quick. And let's go to here. That is pretty darn close. Okay, so now we're gonna do our M. And again, I need to be very conscious of the fact that there is a cut line here, and I do not want to chalk that, or I will end up with a very funny looking line. You can tell right away when you have air because you get this like little bubble. Okay, so I'm just smoothing my chalk paste across, making sure I have my whole silk screen covered up. Taking all that excess chalk off, putting it back in my container because you don't want to waste all that beautiful chalk. And now I have my M. Again, I got chalk where I didn't want chalk. I'm a messy Bessie tonight. At least it's washing off this board. Usually it doesn't wash off. Okay, so there's my M. Oops, push it back. I need to dry it. My new dryer is so quiet. It makes me think like it's not working. It is working, but it makes me think like it's not working because it's so quiet. It's just I'm not used to it being. You can see the chalk paste dry just like you used to be able to. It loses its sheen when it's dry because chalk paste dries with a matte finish. So you can totally see it. I don't know why I shake it. It makes me feel like it's going to dry faster. So if you're not, while I'm drying this, if you're not in the Making Maria Crafted community, it's a great place to be. It's where we have lots of fun. So if you're not in there, you can comment, add me. Or you can message me and I'll send you the link. It's a free group. We just, share ideas, have fun together. I did get an air bubble. That air bubble up here, of course, pushed a little chalk underneath. Let's see if I can get that off. You're not really going to see the top of the M that well anyway because the flowers are going to be above it. The other thing you can do when this happens, if you can't get it off, is take your stain and just dab it with stain again. That works too. But it's off. Okay, now we need an E and we're done. So while this, is a huge board and you think, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever, it really doesn't take that long. Because it's just a couple of letters. And because you're doing one color, you're not getting all fancy, schmancy. I think that's good spacing. Let's try it. I'm going to do our E. I'm going to put our, let's see how our spacing, oh, geez, Louise. See how our spacing looks. I gotta stand up. Okay, this is super cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is I'm gonna love this board. Oh, now I gotta think about where I'm gonna put it. I wasn't really gonna put it outside. I was thinking about leaning it up against my fireplace. So sometimes you can use the other letters to help you make sure you're straight. And you just line up to the other letter. When I start overthinking my spacing is typically when I mess it up. So make sure, again, all your air bubbles are out, because you don't want any more bleeds. Make sure you're straight. Looks pretty darn straight. I think I'm not over far enough though, or I'm over too far. Sorry, I know it's dead air. When I actually measure, I have to be quiet. Maybe I should measure more often, right? Okay. It's just looking crooked to me. But I think it's because my transfer has bubbles in it. No bubbles. So I think I'm going to be over too far that way. Let's try that. Okay, good. Get my air bubbles out. Now I look crooked though. See, when I start overthinking, that's when it all goes downhill. Looks pretty good. All right, it's as good as it's gonna get. Get all my air out. Make sure I don't have any bubbles. Just see if I can move my screen with my finger. I think I'm still too far over. I think I have to come this way. Maybe not. Maybe we're good. We're going for it. The heck, right? Nothing else, I wash it off and paint the board. Okay, so I'm just dipping my chalk paste, or my squeegee in my chalk paste. I just squeegee straight across. I hold my squeegee straight up and down. It is a little confusing. People think they're painting, and you're not painting. You are truly, you know, doing a squeegee. So you're putting it on and taking it off. You're pushing the chalk paste through the silk screen, and all that excess is just a waste if you leave it on the transfer. So you just take it all off and put it right back in your container. Smooth out any lines, because if you have lines, you will see them. That's the other thing I've noticed about the new chalk paste, is there's less lines, and it really does seem a little bit easier. Okay, so we're done. I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup. We have our super cute little, and then I'll hold it up. Maybe I'll try taping it on so you can see. I'll just hold it. I need my E to dry. I love these tulips. Don't you just love tulips? You could put real, but I don't know why you would. You could put a little plant, like a real plant, inside of a planter. That would work as well. I'm trying to get the chalk paste off of everything. And I just stuck my transfer right to itself, so getting it apart. Alright, I don't want to get the chalk paste that's on my fingers on my board when I touch my board. And I'm going to take my chalk paste and I'm going to clean up my rim. Can't do it today. Okay. I have yet to add water to my new white chalk paste, which is really unusual for white. So I would say the new paste definitely holds its moisture better than the old stuff did, which is kind of nice. That's why it takes a little bit longer to dry though. So there's a trade-off there. All right, closing up my chalk paste. And you want to close your chalk paste up as soon as you can. You don't want to leave them open. All right, so I'm going to switch to here. Get rid of my chair so that you can see. Let's see here, if I go back here, don't know how I'm gonna hold the flowers up there, but we'll try. Can you see it? Chair out of the way. All right, so that's the sign. We're pretty straight. And then we take our flowers and we go in the middle. Oh my gosh, isn't that cute? Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. Absolutely, positively in love. Don't you love it? Okay, so I will actually attach this and then I will take a real picture of it tomorrow so it'll be much easier for you guys to see. Probably just have to pound a nail, right? Shouldn't even be that complicated to attach. Because it's just a nail to hang. Oops. There we go. It's just gonna be one of those nights with my transfers, guys. I just keep sticking them to everything. Including me. All right, so this is our fun little sign. I just need to pound a little bit of a nail, and then these guys will hang. I got chalk paste on here too. I could chalk. I could even put like a little welcome on here. What do you guys think about that idea? You think I should put welcome right here? But it says bless our home. Should it say welcome? Here, I could do one of these little welcome guys. What do you think? Should I put welcome on it? It like fits perfectly. So this is one of the trios that I was talking about. I might just stick that right on here. Or you think it's too much? You know, once you start, see, this is the problem with chalking. Once you start chalking, you want to chalk everything. You don't ever want to stop. So it says, bless our home. You could say welcome, don't you think? Well, welcome wouldn't be bad. Okay, you guys are voting. You guys always vote for me. I'm doing it. I can always wash it off if you guys say no. Sure, I cleaned everything up. And now I'm going to keep chalking. Where did I put my white chalk paste? There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to throw a little welcome right on here. Same thing, just do white. I could do navy blue, which is cadet. Oh, Melissa said great idea. Thanks, Melissa. I could totally see doing it in cadet. Because it would totally match my house then. So I'm just, again, squeegeeing my chalk paste. This is a trio. It says welcome, gather, and hello. Love the font on it. It's all lowercase letters. It's really just kind of a cute little font. Perfect. Perfect! Oh, I'm so glad I had that idea. Because it looks awesome. It looks totally awesome. All right, that's our project for tonight. Tomorrow night I won't be live because it's Girls Virtual Night In. If you still want to sign up, you can. Just message me. We just need to get you the materials tomorrow. But you also don't have to watch it live. There's some of the games we're playing that you can win the great prizes and you have to be live, but the big grand prize one you don't have to be live for. So if you're not available tomorrow night or you need me to ship it to you, the package, I could still do that. It just means you'll miss out on the live games. But it's going to be so much fun. We're going to laugh and we're going to giggle. It's going to be fun. So if you're around and you want to hang out with us tomorrow night, it's the girls' virtual night in. That information is in the Making Maria Crafty community. So you can check it out in there. Otherwise, so no live tomorrow night, and then I'll be back at you on Thursday, and we'll make the wreath. I want to show you how the wreath that comes with this transfer is truly stunning. I've seen some amazing things made with it, so we're going to throw it on a canvas, and we're going to do some real pale, pretty colors with it. So that's my project. I'll take a better picture so you guys can see this. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I'm Making Maria, your Chalk Couture independent designer. If you want to check out any of these amazing products, you can go right to www.chalkcouture.com/makingmaria. The name of this transfer is Bless Our Home. It's an E-size transfer. E-size transfers are $39.99, and it makes great signs. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I very much appreciate it. If you want to send me out into the world, it does help me a ton. So if you can hit that button, that also helps me. So I very much appreciate everybody that takes the time to do that. But thanks, guys. I'll be back at you, not tomorrow night, but the next night. But again, some of you I will see tomorrow night, and we'll be laughing and giggling, and maybe I'll wear my bathrobe. You never know. Have a great Wednesday, guys. See ya.